Welcome to my channel. Before you scroll away, answer me this one question: where is your fight? Because somewhere between your dreams and your bed, between your goals and your excuses, you lost it. And today, in the next few minutes, I am going to help you find it again. Stay with me. This story might just change your entire life. There was a young man named Adam. He lived in a small town where nothing ever happened. The sky was gray most days, the streets were quiet, and the people had learned to accept small lives. Adam was 24 years old. He worked at a warehouse, lifting boxes from morning to evening. His hands were tired, his back was sore, and his heart was empty. Every night he came home, dropped his bag on the floor, and stared at the ceiling. He would whisper to himself, "Is this it? Is this all my life will ever be?" Adam had dreams once, big dreams. When he was 16, he told his father he wanted to become a writer. He wanted to write stories that would touch people's hearts, stories that would make the world a little brighter. His father laughed and said, "Writers don't come from towns like ours, son. Be realistic. Get a job, pay your bills." That one sentence went inside Adam's chest like a small knife. He never forgot it. And slowly, day by day, he stopped writing. He stopped dreaming. He stopped fighting. Years passed. His notebook, once full of ideas and half-finished stories, sat under his bed collecting dust. Every time he saw it, he felt something break a little more inside him. But he was too tired to care. He told himself he was being mature. He told himself dreams were for children. He told himself he was fine, but deep down he knew he was lying. One cold evening in November, Adam was walking home from work. It was raining lightly, and the streetlights made the wet road shine like glass. He passed by an old bookstore he had walked by 1,000 times before. But this time something made him stop. Maybe it was the rain, maybe it was the tiredness, maybe it was something bigger than him. He pushed the door open and walked inside. The bookstore smelled like old paper and coffee. An old man with white hair and gentle eyes sat behind the counter reading a book. He looked up and smiled at Adam. "Welcome, young man. What are you looking for?" Adam didn't know how to answer. He shrugged and said, "Just looking around." He walked between the shelves, running his fingers along the spines of the books. Then he stopped. In front of him, on a small wooden table, there was a book with a plain brown cover. Written on it in simple gold letters were 3 words: "Where's your fight?" His heart started beating faster. He didn't know why. He picked up the book and opened the first page. He read the first line, and it hit him like a punch to the chest. "You didn't lose your dreams. You just stopped fighting for them." Adam felt something warm rise in his eyes. He read the next line. "The person you wanted to be at 16 is still inside you, waiting. He is not dead. He is just tired of being ignored." Adam closed the book. His hands were shaking. He walked to the counter and asked the old man how much it cost. The old man looked at him with kind eyes and said, "For you, my friend, it is free, but promise me one thing: read it tonight. All of it. Do not sleep until you finish it." Adam nodded. He took the book, went home, and sat on his bed. He opened it and started reading. The book was small, only about 100 pages, but every page felt like it was written just for him. It talked about people who almost gave up, people who were mocked, people who were told they were not enough, and how they found their fight again, one small step at a time. There was one line in that book that Adam read again and again. It said, "Your fight is not out there. Your fight is inside you. And every day you refuse to try, you are choosing to let the smaller version of you win." That night Adam did not sleep. He pulled his old notebook out from under the bed. He blew the dust off it. He opened it to a blank page. He picked up a pen, and he started writing. He wrote for hours. He wrote about the boy who once believed in himself. He wrote about the father who broke his heart. He wrote about the years he had wasted. And by the time the sun came up, his hand was aching, but his soul was alive again for the first time in years. The next morning Adam went to work, but something was different. He was different. On his lunch break he wrote, On the bus home, he wrote, late at night, he wrote, he was tired, but it was a good kind of tired. It was the tired of a man who was finally fighting for something again. But the road was not easy. Nobody's road ever is. When his coworkers found out he was writing a book, they laughed. "You, a writer, stick to lifting boxes, man." His old friends said, "Bro, you're too old to be starting new things. Just enjoy your life." And the loudest voice of all was his own, that old voice inside his head that said, "Who do you think you are? You are nobody. You will fail. You will embarrass yourself." But this time, Adam did something different. Every time that voice came, he asked himself one question, the same question the book had asked him. Where is your fight? And every time he chose to keep going. He chose to write one more page. He chose to believe one more day. 6 months later, Adam finished his first book. He sent it to 20 publishers. All 20 rejected him. 20 rejection emails, 20 no thank yous. 20 small deaths of hope. Most people would have quit right there. But Adam remembered the old man's words. He remembered his own promise. He kept going. He sent his book to 20 more publishers. 19 rejected him. But the 20th one said yes. A small publishing house run by a woman who believed in new voices. She said, "Adam, your story is honest, it's simple, and it's real. We would love to publish it." But this time, Adam did something different. Every time that voice came, he asked himself one question, the same question the book had asked him. Where is your fight? And every time he chose to keep going. He chose to write one more page. He chose to believe one more day. 6 months later, Adam finished his first book. He sent it to 20 publishers. All 20 rejected him. 20 rejection emails, 20 no thank yous. 20 small deaths of hope. Most people would have quit right there. But Adam remembered the old man's words. He remembered his own promise. He kept going. He sent his book to 20 more publishers. 19 rejected him. But the 20th one said yes. A small publishing house run by a woman who believed in new voices. She said, "Adam, your story is honest, it's simple, and it's real. We would love to publish it." Adam cried when he read that email. He cried like a child, because in that moment he was not just a writer getting his first book deal. He was a boy who finally proved something to himself. He proved that the version of him at 16 was still alive. He proved that his father was wrong. He proved that dreams don't die, people just stop feeding them. His book came out the next year. It was called, of course, Where's Your Fight? At first, only a few people bought it, but then something magical happened. One reader shared it, then another, then 100, then 1,000. Within a year, Adam's book was in the hands of readers all over the country. Letters started coming to him. Emails, messages, from strangers all over the world. One letter said, "I was going to give up on my business. Your book saved me." Another said, "I was ready to quit college. Your words made me stay." Another said, "I am 70 years old and your book made me start painting again after 50 years. Adam read every letter, every single one, and every time he thanked God for that rainy night in November. Now, my friend, listen to me carefully, because this is where your story begins. You are Adam. Maybe you don't lift boxes. Maybe you sit at a desk. Maybe you drive a taxi. Maybe you are a student staring at books you don't want to read. Maybe you are a mother who forgot her own name in the noise of everyone else's needs. Maybe you are someone who used to have big dreams and now you don't even remember what they were. But somewhere inside you there is a notebook, a dusty, forgotten notebook, and on its pages are the dreams you buried. And I am here today, like that old man in the bookstore, to ask you the question that changed Adam's life. Where is your fight? Where is the version of you that used to believe? Where is the little kid who danced when no one was watching? Where is the teenager who said, "One day I will show them"? Where did that person go? I will tell you where. They are still inside you. They are just waiting for you to remember them. They are waiting for you to fight for them again. Life will not be easy. People will laugh, doors will close, you will fail, you will cry, you will want to quit. But every time you feel that weight, I want you to ask yourself, where is my fight? And I want you to choose it. One page at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Because here is the truth nobody tells you. The world is not divided into talented people and untalented people. The world is not divided into lucky and unlucky. The world is divided into people who kept fighting and people who stopped. That is the only difference. That is the whole secret. So today, right now, in this moment, I want you to make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not next year. Right now, decide that you will fight for you, fight for your dreams. Fight for the version of you that you were meant to be. Because if you don't fight for yourself, my friend, nobody will. Adam found his fight in a small bookstore on a rainy night. But you don't need a bookstore, you don't need a book, you don't need a sign from the sky, you just need this moment. And you need one honest answer to one honest question. Where is your fight? Go find it, and when you do, don't ever let it go again. If this story touched your heart even a little, hit that subscribe button, share it with someone who needs